Hi, this is Miss Malini, and I'm here with Malini's Girl Tribe for an exclusive event. And these are the days that I feel are really special for me because I have the absolutely fantastic Robin Sharma who's here and having an intimate conversation with us about things that really, really matter. I love this book. I spent the whole last week just devouring it, and I think it was just fantastic. And I have so many questions for you, so let's get going. First of all,
Great.
how does it feel being here talking about your book?
Well, I spent 4 years on the 5 a.m. Club because I wanted it to be a piece of magic in people's hands. It's very fulfilling, the response that the book has generated, and it's great to be back here in India. And I want to say hello to your Girl Tribe and all the people who follow you and all the people here in the live audience with these. I wish everyone could see the sparkling eyes, here in this room. It's just wonderful to meet everyone. So
I'm going to ask you the one question that plagues me, and I think a lot of people. How do you wake up? How do you get yourself to wake up at 5 a.m. when your lives are so hectic and it's almost impossible to go to bed at 9 p.m.?
Well, Lao Tzu, the great Chinese philosopher, said the 1,000-mile journey begins with a single step. And we could come at it from neuroscience that says you need to stay with a new skill for 66 days until it becomes automatic. And so I think, what makes a great life, what makes a great mother, what makes a great father, what makes a great chef, what makes a great violinist, is you make a commitment and then you follow through on the commitment. And so to say, well, it's busy, I'm too busy in the night, or you can, to have the results only 5% of the population has, we've got to be willing to do what 95% of the population is unwilling to do. And part of that is making a commitment and installing some great routines in our life so we get better results.
But tell me, what made you come up with these particular characters, and what is it that you want people to take away from this book?
Well, that's such a great question, and I've been here on this Indian book tour, which has been just intense. Today's my last day, so it's a real pleasure to meet you, Malini. And on the book tour, readers have been sharing something really interesting that I didn't consciously do. What I've been hearing on this tour from readers is each character represents a part of us. The woman entrepreneur, people have been saying, represents the left part of our brain because she's tactical and she's very analytical. The artist represents the right brain, our creative side. The spellbinder represents the magic we all have within us. And Mr. Riley, I don't quite know what he represents, but I'm going to figure that one out.
By the way, I love that you have all these fantastic, phrases, and I wrote some of them down. And you have like the 60-10 method, and you have, the ritual of private reflection, and the merchant of wow. How do you come up with these? Like, do you wake up in the middle of or in the morning, and it's like pop?
Yeah, 5 a.m. is it's when there's some magic in the air because I just download it. Well, the 5 a.m. Club and the 20-20-20 formula that the book is based on, it comes from boots on the ground for over 22 years working with billionaires, world-class athletes, celebrities, and superstars. You talk about the 60-minute student and those are actually routines. So there's the 20-20-20 formula, which is what you do from 5 to 6 during the victory hour. But then I wanted to help people build some routines for the rest of the day because genius is not about genetics. Genius is about your habits. So what I've tried to do is give people great philosophy, great insights that I've learned over 22 years of working with the superstars and happy people, but also give them a series of protocols and routines that they could easily apply to their day to give them more energy, more happiness, more creativity, and a greater impact on society, because the end of the book really talks about what's life really about. It's about using your life for helpfulness and elevating the people around you.
But I always wonder, and I think people wonder too, that if I give so much of myself, is there going to be enough left for me, or will I become successful? So what do you think about that?
It's a great insight. And the thing about martyrs is they get burned on the cross.
Yeah.
So the 5 a.m. Club is not about giving to everyone at the sake of yourself. It's actually just the opposite. It's about the fact that we live in the age of dramatic distraction, we live in a time-starved world. A lot of people are what I call in the book cyber zombies, and they're giving the best hours of their best days to their phone. This book, I mean, people are telling me that it's created a firestorm of applause from the readers already. It's only been out like 8 weeks. And a lot of people are saying, I broke free of my digital distraction and I've really reconnected with my gifts and my talents, which was what I wanted people to do. The 5 a.m. Club is actually the mother of all habits. Because if we can install, or when we install the 5 a.m. Club habit, it takes 66 days, like I mentioned, you then get up automatically before the sun. Just think, Malini, what kind of psychological advantage that would give you. And then the book explains what to do, but it's exercise, and then write in a journal, and then pray, and then learn. So what you're doing is you're going through a morning routine for 60 minutes designed to do 4 things. Improve your mindset, purify your heart set, new word I introduce in the book.
I like that, yeah.
Optimize your health set because you don't want to die. And then escalate your soul set. And so really what you're doing for 60 minutes is you're developing and strengthening your inner core. And who we are with our children, our partner, our teammates, strangers on the street, it all reflects what's going on within us. That's where the real work starts. And the best time to do it is 5 a.m. while the rest of the world is asleep.
So, just to back up, how did you get here to this point?
There was a drive. Someone drove me. They drove me from the airport.
In this, in your mind space, and the fact that you're now working with billionaires, and you're doing all of this. But what happened? At what point did you suddenly go like, okay, this is who I am, and this is what I was made to be?
She's a good interviewer. She's a good interviewer. You are.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, my dad is from Jammu Kashmir. My mother is from Nairobi. I was born in East Africa, and I come from very humble beginnings, but the people around me said, if you become a lawyer, that's your ticket.
Yeah.
You'll have a great life. So I became a litigation lawyer. I got 2 law degrees, including a master's of law. People said, he's going to be a judge at a really young age, and I was on this fast track. I was doing very well in life. But I would wake up in the morning, Malini, and I would look at myself in the bathroom mirror, and I didn't like the person who was looking back at me. I was just, and there's a lot of people. I mean, Jim Carrey said it well. He said, I wish everyone could be rich and famous. Not that I was rich and famous, but they said, I wish everyone could be rich and famous to realize that's not the ticket to joy. And so what I did was I said, there's pain. I feel pain. I feel emptiness. There was like a psychic tragedy going on within me. And so I went to books and I went to learning, which is always the game changer.
Yeah.
And I started trying many different modalities along with studying the great women and men of the world, and meditation and yoga and acupuncture and all of these different healing modalities. And I made some profound changes in my life. I decided I better share this message in a book. I self-published a little book called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari.
Amazing book.
My mom, thank you. My mother helped me edit it. My father helped me sell it at service clubs, one chicken dinner at a time. And my first seminar was 23 people. 21 of those people were my family members. I was really laughed at and ridiculed, because when you have a big dream, people are going to ridicule you and laugh at you, and you're going to have haters, and that's just part of the process. Continue at all costs. I know Girl Tribe is all about being a hero or a shiro in the world, and I just continued. And it's remarkable when you stay in the game longer than the world thinks you should stay in the game, what happens. And then more books, and now the 5 a.m. Club, which is currently the #1 book in India right now.
It is incredible. Can we give that a round of applause?
Thank you.
I always feel that there's certain things that people are ruled by. Someone told me that you should have a 1-word bio, and what is that for you? And I love the line that says, the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. What is that for you? What is that one thing that's your mantra that stays in your mind?
To lead is to serve.
Wow.
My father raised me, and my mother as well. I better give credit to my mother in case she's part of the Girl Tribe. I mean, I don't want Mom upset with me either, right? And especially my dad used to recite the words of Rabindranath Tagore. the Bengali poet, and Rabindranath Tagore said, well, my dad used to paraphrase and say, Robin, when you were born, you cried while the world rejoiced. Live your life in such a way that when you die, the world cries while you rejoice.
Wow.
So there's always been, this deep Indian philosophy. Life is short, even the longest life is quick. The street sweeper gets buried next to the CEO. We're all going to be dust. We won't be remembered. So use your life to be a teacher of love and serve as many people as possible. And that's why I spent 4 years on the 5 a.m. Club. I could have mailed it in this world where people phone it in. I put 4 years of sweat equity, my heart and soul, through exhaustion, through frustration. There's so many disruptive ideas in the book. So I was sort of scared when the book came out because everyone's talking about mindset. I'm saying, no, it's not just mindset. If you want to really master yourself and create empires of creativity and productivity in the world, it's also heart set, because if you've got a broken heart or an angry heart, you're not going to inspire people. Then it's health set, because energy is more valuable than intelligence. And then it's soul set, because if your ego is running you, you're not going to be a hero on the planet. So I wrote the 5 a.m. Club, and my mission, I mean, I could retire right now, and I've been on a 6-day grueling book tour, really just nonstop, because I know the book is a piece of magic and it'll transform people. And I just want to use the remainder of my life to remind people of the awe and wonder and gifts and talents inside of them, because we live in a world where a lot of people have disconnected from that truth.
That's incredible. And I think you give so much insight and learning, and I think one of the things that people really relate to, and I asked everyone what they want to learn here and what they want to see, and they all said they just want to be in a room with you to see what your aura and your energy is like.
Have I disappointed you? Look at them, they're
beaming. So I want to know from you, what is one thing about you that you think people don't know or that you want to be remembered for? What is that about the essence of you? You spend so much time on other people and building them up.
Well, that I have self-doubt as well.
What do you doubt?
The 5 a.m. Club, I really pushed myself. I really wanted to have like my best wisdom in there, my best routines. I wanted to not just write it from the intellect, I wanted to write it from my heart and my soul. And and there's a lot of new words, and there's a lot of new concepts and models, and when you put something fresh out into the world, it's a very dangerous sport. Because I think any leader, you're a leader of your community. Any leader takes people to impossible places. And that very act is a very dangerous act, because you'll scare the status quo and people who are clinging to the safe harbor of the known. And that's why the job of a great woman or a great man is to take people to a Mount Everest they never thought they could go to, but understand that you're going to be criticized. And if you do something really powerful, like put out a really powerful piece of work, or piece of code, or book, or whatever it is, you're going to have extreme reactions on either side. And if it's really innovative, you're going to scare people. And so there was that self-doubt, like, will people understand what I'm trying to do? And thankfully,
I think they got it.
They got it. Well, you know what I would say, just to be so honest with you? The right people got it. And the people who want a magic pill and quick fix and want to condemn and criticize or jealous, they didn't get it. And guess what? I'm okay with that, because this book is not for them.
Yeah. And I mean, if you'll allow me, I'll tell you something
I'd
which
love
I
to
think
hear.
is amazing. That the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is indifference. So if they react to you, they're still feeling something for you. So, and there's a piece in this book that I love so much, and I would love if you would read it to us.
Sure. And that's a great point, by the way. I'm just trying to process what you said, that the opposite to love is indifference. And I think that's why the 5 a.m. Club is provoking. I mean, mostly it's the vast majority is very positive.
Yeah.
But there is some negative reaction to it. And as I've deconstructed it in my own prayer and meditation and journaling, I believe that this book is a manifesto for transformation. And it's really scary for someone to say, whoa, I really can be the hero of my own life and do world-class work and make the world a better place, but I better let go of what I've been. That's a very scary thing for someone to do.
Because it's easy to be victim of circumstance, right? Yeah.
It's easy to say, look, my life isn't full of vitality and I'm not really healthy. I don't have love in my heart. I'm not leading my domain in my work, but we rationalize, well, it could be worse. You know, that's a way to live as a victim. So you want me to read this one?
Yes.
Okay. The billionaire flipped into a quick handstand. I told you he was weird. He then beat his chest fast with a single fist as he whispered these words to himself. This day is priceless. All the money in the world will not bring it back again. And so I seize it and I savor it and I honor it. This day I fill my mind with big dreams, so there is no space for petty doubts. I replace the psychology of can't with the mentality of can. And I remember that my greatest growth lies at the jagged edges of my highest limits. This day I'll recall that until my mission becomes my obsession, my gifts will never become my glory. And until my hunger to serve transcends the insecurities of myself, I'll miss the grand chance of these precious hours to be a vehicle for helpfulness.
And that's what it's all about. Can we give that a round of applause? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Robin Sharma. Thank you so much for watching, and we will be back with lots more.